My ex-husband called, pleading with me to give him back the life he once had. I was just 16 when I became a mom. My boyfriend and I promised to make a family together, believing we could make it work. He went off to college and I stayed home with our child, putting my own dreams on hold to be a stay-at-home mom. I did everything: housework, school, raising the kids, while he only played with them when he found time. I kept hoping he'd make space for us as a couple. Whenever I tried to talk about my feelings, he'd brush me off, always too busy or too tired. I decided to focus on being a good mother, believing that making him happy would hold us together. In 2021, I found out he cheated on me with a coworker. He begged for therapy, but I was heartbroken and filed for divorce. We agreed to co-parent peacefully, and I started to reclaim my life. I reconnected with friends, took some time for myself, and tried to heal. Now he's calling me, accusing me of not dressing like a mother, trying to control how I live. When he finally called, crying, asking me to take him back, I listened, but knew what I had to say. I hung up, tears in my eyes, but with newfound clarity. I won't go back, for me and for my kids.
For 5 years, my husband tightened every jar lid so much I couldn't open them. It started with just things he used, but then it was every jar. I couldn't eat my food when I wanted. Every time the jar lid issue escalated, I'd break down, crying and feeling crazy over a lid. He claimed it was to keep food fresh, but I didn't believe it. Even if it did, it wasn't worth not being able to eat my food. A month ago, my husband left town for 10 days due to a family emergency. On the first day, I found a jar I couldn't open. My neighbor helped me open all the jars, except for 2 he couldn't. He said, "Your husband is doing this on purpose." That night, I knew I couldn't stay in this marriage anymore. I decided to file for divorce. He couldn't believe it. There were no other issues, just the jar lids. He suggested marriage counseling, but I refused. But it wasn't just about the jars. It was about control and choices. I chose my freedom. I am Anna's best friend. We have been inseparable since middle school. 8 months ago, she announced her wedding and asked me to be her bridesmaid. We started planning the wedding together, choosing the wedding dress, looking at decorations, and making the guest list. Everything went smoothly. However, at a party, she met Lisa, and they immediately became good friends. Soon after, I noticed that Anna was taking longer to respond to my messages, and her social media was filled with photos of her and Lisa. The only interaction we had left was about the wedding plans. She was spending almost all her time with Lisa. I started to feel neglected. One time, I couldn't help but ask her why she wasn't responding to my messages. She just brushed it off, saying she was busy. Then, 2 weeks before the wedding, she told me she had decided to make Lisa her bridesmaid instead of me. At the party, she publicly introduced Lisa as her bridesmaid. I felt betrayed and left the event in anger. I haven't seen Anna since. Can friendship really be so fragile? Did I do something wrong? I have been married with my husband for 4 years. From the beginning, I was clear that I wasn't sure about having biological children, and he seemed to understand that. However, after his best friend had a baby boy, he began to really press me on having children. I was initially very against this idea because I was just beginning my career. Last year, I found out I was unexpectedly pregnant. I was considering an abortion, but after many heartfelt conversations with my husband, we decided to keep the baby, and he would quit his job to stay home with our daughter. There were several factors that went into our decision. I make significantly more money than him. Comparing to being a stay-home mother, my work is my life. This weekend, I left my husband alone with our daughter while I attended a medical conference out of state. But when I returned home, he completely broke down. He expressed how trapped, alone, and overwhelmed he felt all weekend. He now wants me to extend my maternity leave and is talking about trying to get his job back. This made me freak out and screamed, "If I knew you were going to back out of your promise to take care of our daughter, I would have never had your child." I know I completely overreacted, but I am so upset with my husband, and I'm not sure how to move forward from here.
My husband frequently visit his worried mother, turn my life upside down. My mother-in-law is facing a health scare, waiting for cancer test results. Since the mention of cancer, she has been clinging to my husband, asking him to visit every day for the past 3 weeks, thinking she might not have much time left. For the past 3 weeks, my husband has been late for important events, work, and more, but it's severely impacting me. I missed an important ultrasound because his mother needed him due to a panic attack. Yesterday, I told my husband I felt like I was going into labor soon, but his mother called with an emergency. He rushed to her side instead of being with me. My water broke at 1:36 p.m. I texted my husband, no response. At 3:13 p.m., I gave birth alone at home. I sent my husband a picture of our daughter. He came home within half an hour, angry that I hadn't explicitly told him my water broke. He had been waiting in the parking lot, ignoring my texts, and his mother's emergency was a bleeding hemorrhoid. Actually, she had a history of it, and she knew it was just her hemorrhoid again. I know life is short, but priorities matter. You won't believe what my neighbor just tried to pull. She wanted to throw a kid's birthday party in my backyard without permission, and it gets crazier from there. My backyard? It's my happy place. Plants, lights, the whole vibe. I love hosting quiet dinners for friends here. But then, my 43-year-old neighbor knocks on my door and asks if she can throw her son's birthday party in my yard. Not a little gathering. We're talking bouncy castle, loud music, 20 screaming kids. I mean, what? I politely said no because I don't want my garden destroyed by strangers. But then she flips out. She's like, "It's just a few hours, the kids need space. I'll give you $30 to clean up after." Yeah, $30? For wrecking my garden? No thanks. When I still said no, she straight up says, "I'll just do it anyway. It's not like you use your backyard all day." Excuse me? Now she's got some neighbors talking like I'm the bad guy for not wanting a wild kids party in my space. Am I the jerk here, or is this just nuts?
I have a 14-year-old daughter, Julia, from a previous relationship. She's my world. My siblings practically raised her, and they love spoiling her. But I remarried. My wife tried to bond with Julia, but Julia wasn't interested. She already has her 2 aunts. My wife didn't take it well. My family never accepted my wife, and now things are hard. We're struggling financially. My wife was in an accident and she can't work. I do what I can, but it's not enough to give all the kids what they want. Julia gets everything from my siblings. She's spoiled. My wife thinks it's unfair, especially when her daughters have old furniture from when they were toddlers. I asked Julia, but she said no. Her uncle wants to sell it and give her the money. I told my wife and she lost it. She called me an asshole. And now, I don't know what to do. Maybe it's not about the furniture. Maybe it's about feeling left out. Maybe I've let my family divide us. Family isn't about what we give, but how we make each other feel. I was sitting at home when my partner came back from school. His face looked sad. "What's wrong?" I asked him. He showed me a paper. It said his IQ was 72. The doctor told him this was very low. I wasn't surprised. He always struggles with easy things. He forgets to turn off the stove. He gets lost in stores. Sometimes he can't count money right. But now knowing that number made me feel different. I started thinking about our future. If we have kids one day, will I have to do everything? Will I have to help him forever? When we visit my parents, they look at him strange. They think he acts like a child. I can see it in their eyes. Even when I'm with my friends, I feel different, like I don't fit in anymore, like his problems are becoming mine too. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that number, but then I remembered when he surprised me with flowers last week, how he always listens when I'm sad, how he tries so hard every day. Numbers don't show love, numbers don't show kindness, numbers don't show how much someone cares. My partner may have a low IQ, but he has the biggest heart I've ever known, and that's worth more than any test score. Drop a heart if you agree.
Kids took my most precious keepsakes. My husband and I decided not to have kids because we feel cats suit us better. My husband loves kids, and I find them cute most of the time, but we don't think parenting is worth it for us. My family supports our decision, but my husband's family doesn't see it that way. My sister-in-law has 2 kids, and they are staying with us this week for vacation. Today, I noticed our wedding flower and a bracelet from my middle school friend were missing. I panicked a little. I asked my sister-in-law if she knew what happened. Her kids looked a bit off but denied knowing anything. I insisted on checking their room. I found the items. I asked the kids why they took them. They said the items looked cool. I told my sister-in-law that kids like this make me more certain about not having children. She said I crossed a line. My husband said I should let it go since we got the items back. Am I overreacting?
Sarah slammed her car door and yelled at her friend Emma. "Get out! You're making my car too heavy!" Emma begged her not to drive through the flooded road. "Sarah, please, let's wait for help. This is dangerous." But Sarah was angry. "I don't need your scared attitude. Walk home." Emma stepped out into the rain, crying. Sarah pressed the gas and drove into the rushing water. Halfway across, her car started floating. The water pushed it sideways. Sarah screamed as her car flipped over and crashed into a tree. Emma ran to help, pulling Sarah from the wreck. Instead of saying thank you, Sarah shouted, "This is your fault. If you stayed in the car, I would have made it across." She pointed her finger. "You'll pay for my car." The next week, Sarah's lawyer sent Emma a bill for $50,000. Emma prayed that night, asking God for help. She had no money and felt scared. Then something amazing happened. The security camera from a nearby store showed everything. The video went viral online. People saw how Sarah forced Emma out, then crashed trying to cross dangerous water. A rich businessman saw the video and was touched by Emma's kindness. He hired her as his assistant with a big salary. Sarah's own insurance company refused to pay after seeing the footage. They said it was her fault for driving recklessly. Sometimes God protects the innocent and teaches the guilty. Drop a heart if you believe in divine justice.